All right, welcome back. This is basically January 31st, so it's the last day in January. And basically, what I want to do today is kind of just do a monthly update on all the investments and shenanigans and things like that that I got going on. So, in the spirit of trying to keep this video short, let's go ahead and get into it. So, boom. Okay, so last year, end of the year, basically at 169, basically 170, and ended January at $177,079.54. Um, Traditional 401k, it looked like it went up about $2,000. It didn't contribute anything to it. Roth 401k did contribute some to it, and maybe a little bit of growth. The Roth IRA, just under 1,000 at 18,484. Put another $100 in the wife's IRA. It's at 200 right now. Brokerage. I don't remember putting that much in, but I think between me adding some and with a decent amount of growth, it basically grew like $1,000. Fidelity brokerage, it didn't grow that much. I think it actually shrank a little bit, even with me adding some money to it. Robinhood actually grew quite a bit. I put I think I put like 80 into it this month. So between that and a lot of growth on the Robinhood investment account, I pretty much just have stocks, and there's four stocks in particular: SanDisk, Western Digital, uh, MU. It's like Micron, I think, the one that makes RAM, and Seagate. Um, got those pretty much at the beginning of the year, and I think between the four, I'm up about 75%. Um, it's Those are really good. I guess because they're trying to build all the data centers for all the AI tools and stuff like that. Those companies, they make hard drives, RAM. I don't have any CPUs. That would be Intel or AMD, but those four in particular, um, making me a lot of money. Well, I say I gained a lot, but it was based on like $5, $15, stuff like that. So not by that much. Robinhood account, uh, almost no growth. Um, like I think the 152 was after after the $100 automatically invested, and then I'll probably tomorrow, or maybe Monday, whenever that next $100 goes in, I'll probably put it, update this, but almost no growth, like $4. So I don't know how much I'm gonna like the managed Robinhood managed account, even though I have it on the most aggressive uh, investing profile or whatever. It I think still pretty conservative, um, but my investment account is usually beating it, and even when there's a down market, like I might lose a little bit more than the managed account, but there it's not that much. So I don't know. um, yeah, I got four crypto accounts. Not that much money in any of them. But Coinbase, I'm just calling it the Porsche 911 fund. Whether I get a Porsche, I don't know. I don't really like any of the new cars nowadays, so maybe I'll get an older uh, something later. Kraken, kind of same thing. Ledger, that's a hardware wallet. Gemini, it's actually a lot lower recently. I think last look, I think it's like 832. But there's a big dip in Bitcoin and stuff like that. I guess because it's a government shutdown, or just because market manipulation, banks want more crypto, so they're tanking the price. But uh, yeah, it's taking a big hit. And crypto.com. You might ask, why do you have 4 different accounts? Well, I admit it's pretty crazy. Coinbase, I've kind of always not had, but I've had that for a long time. Just recently started cracking, several months ago, only because you could trade in some cryptocurrencies here that you can't do in Coinbase. Ledger's a hardware wallet, so if I wanted to sweep everything and put it into cold storage or whatever, I could put it in Ledger, or the hardware wallet. Gemini, I threw $10 in it, and it's kind of shy. I bought like $10 in Bitcoin. Um, and then same thing with crypto. They're all slightly different. Kraken's kind of interesting because you can buy bundles of certain types of crypto. Um, and then crypto.com, you can buy a basket. I haven't done this yet, but a basket is like, say, if you bought a basket of like some of the blue chip currencies, where you have like Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, and we'll just call it XRP. We'll say Bitcoin is at 70%, and the other three are at 10. And as the levels go up and down or whatever, it tends to rebalance to where it keeps that percentage profile. And then if you threw another couple $100 in, it would do its thing. So you put money in the basket, and then I believe it auto adjusts. So I was going to look at that, and just kind of play with it and see how it goes. I'm probably only going to do this for a couple of years, and then I'll pick which one I want the most, and then kind of just stick with it. I do kind of like Kraken, but they're all 80%, 90% the same. Savings, I did put that here because I've already put the amount of money that I needed, and I'm basically at 400 for savings. Emergency savings, I eventually want to get to 6 months of monthly expenses covered. So I'm just going to throw money in there until I hit whatever that is. Maybe at some point, I'll just invest more heavily. But right now, I kind of want to get all the investment accounts up. My HSA, it's at 20,246. I didn't put $2,000 into it. I'm pretty much maxing it out, and at my job at the beginning of the year, for a family, the company contributes $1,250, so 1,250. That's basically where most of that came from. And then I think I put 600 or something. But HSA account and the Roth IRA are automatic. I don't really see anything there. Everything else is kind of me, putting money in here. And now we'll go to the contributions, and this is kind of where we are. So my goal is generally to hit 4K every month for investing, and for January I hit that. Mostly it's because of the 1250 for the HSA account, but I put the 128 this month. Already have this. I kind of work one pay period ahead. So when I get my military retirement, pension, all that good stuff, I'll say in this case, I'll put $1,093 in a savings. But I don't immediately invest it because if there's a expensive bill that I'm not paying attention to, or if there's just something that pops up that I have to invest in. I just not invest in, but if I had to spend money on, I'll just take it from there, and then it'll be a little bit less. But then as soon as I get my next paycheck or pay period or money, like say, we undo that. If all this is like in a savings, whenever I get my next paycheck, this will actually get invested into these accounts, and then my next load of savings will get put in here. But overall, I want it to generally look like the goal. So, but kind of going back to this month, uh, having a $7,000 increase when I only really put 4,000. It's not bad. $3,000 of I guess gain in interest or whatever. So it's not too bad. I'm hoping, providing we don't have like a really big market crash or correction, and things just kind of keep on chugging along, I might have 250 by the end of the year, but we'll see. That's kind of a push goal that I have zero control over. So, okay, that's it. 10 minutes. I wanted to keep this video short, so that's a wrap. If you do have any questions, leave them down below. If you want to argue, why do I have 2 Robinhood accounts? Why do I have 4 crypto accounts, 2 brokerage? Whatever questions you have, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll either answer it in the comments, or maybe I'll make a video on it if it's something that I think could be kind of worth putting out there. So there you go. And I'll see you next month. All right, bye.